Hamatakiape, Ampetukinle Shantewashte, Senator Mary Kunish. I am a senator here in Minnesota, the author of the legislation that created the Minnesota Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women's Task Force, and co-chair of that task force. Completed the report just in December after 18 quick months, and here I have my co-chair.
My name is Nicole Matthews. I am the Executive Director of the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition and co-chair of the Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women's Task Force.
And we'd like to welcome you here to Minnesota State Capitol in St. Paul, Minnesota. And what you're seeing is an exhibit to celebrate the National Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women's Day. We have thousands and thousands of these cutouts of red dresses and hearts to commemorate those that have gone missing, those that have been murdered, and to draw awareness to this really historic tragedy.
And the dresses were painted. Many of them were painted by some of our Native youth. And there's some that have names of our relatives who have gone missing or who have been murdered. So to remember them, to always have their names out there. And there's about 3,000 red dresses that will be lining this Capitol lawn today and through Friday of this week.
Yep. And it's really important that we are commemorating those lives that have been forgotten, but now we're bringing back and remembering how much they contributed to our communities over the generations. One thing we discovered in our creation of the Missing and Murdered Task Force, and in speaking with those community members, is that there are many loved ones that have gone before us that have been forgotten but now are being remembered once again. And for that, we are thankful to everyone for doing the work that we've done.
Absolutely. And while today we have red dresses, we also know that it is not only about women, that we care and we want to remember all of our missing and murdered Indigenous relatives, our Two-Spirit, LGBTQ relatives, and in fact the legislation to create an office here in Minnesota is the Missing and Murdered Indigenous Relatives Office. And Senator can talk more about that.
Right. So 2 years ago, we created that legislation to create the task force so that we can understand better. Historically, we haven't had data to present to those that can make decisions. We know that there were issues with jurisdiction and the ability to investigate all of these issues. And so we put it into a really comprehensive report, and now the very first recommendation was to create this Missing and Murdered Indigenous Relatives Unit within our state government and continue the work, because we know it doesn't just affect our Native American communities, but many of our other Indigenous, Black, Asian, Latino communities. And so we're hoping that our state senators will support this bill. We've gotten full support in the House. The governor has promised his full support. And so now it is up to my fellow senators to pass this into law so that we can continue the work that we started here, but also collaborate on the national level. Our Secretary of the Interior, Deb Haaland, has created that federal unit, and this would be a perfect way for us to continue the work at that very national level so that we can really address this global pandemic.
Yes. So please come out, join us. We will be doing Facebook Lives all day long. We have we're still putting up the art right now, and at 2 p.m. we will start our official program, and we will have some speakers, and we have put a call out for red jingle dress dancers, so we will have some jingle dress dancers around as an honor song for our missing and murdered Indigenous relatives. And we will have at around 2:30, we have our Lieutenant Governor who will be out here to speak, Senator Kunish, and Representative Keeler, who will also be here to speak. And then we will have an open mic for our relatives who have been impacted by this issue to tell their story. And so we welcome everyone.
Wonderful. Is there anything going on in like I guess when the MMIW task force are coming together, is there conversations between states or anything like that?
You know, it's interesting because I think that many of our other state legislators have realized that we have a pretty comprehensive bill here. The task force is really all-encompassing on the issue. And I've had many requests by other legislators asking if they could review the information in the legislation that I use to pass the bill. And I'm more than happy to share that with them. It would be wonderful if other legislators used the same legislation and the same process, because if every state did the same thing and collected the data and were able to share it, we would have our national study right there.
And why is the national study and the data so important?
Well, for one, we haven't had data. That was the biggest problem when people would say to me, well, where is this happening? Why is it happening? How many has it happened to? We didn't have those numbers. And there were people sporadically across the nation that had started the work, that really helped me get my work started. But we need to address this at the national level, at a global level. Canada has their national report. The United States does not have it. So it's really important that we put in resources at every level, whether it's your reservation or your county or your state or the nation. We need to all come together and really work on finding a way to discontinue this kind of violence that has happened way too long.
And I think also with the data, it's hard to tell a story if you don't have the numbers to back it up. And when we have our community members, our tribal nations who are looking to get funding to address this issue, to push the government to address this issue, we need the numbers to back up the reality of what we all know. Most of us have been impacted. Most of us have our own stories of relatives who've gone missing or murdered, or community members or loved ones that we know of. And so we have all of the anecdotal stories. Now we need the data to back it up.
Well, I know you had to take off, but we'll see you back at 2:30?
Yep.
All right, thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you for doing this.
Yeah, wonderful. Is there anyone else we should talk to real quick here, you think? Oh, I think this table. Let's go to that table. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you should talk to Rory.
I'll talk to Rory too. So anyone who's just joining, we brought you to the art build, and now we're actually at the installation. We had some speakers there. I'm going to go to this resource table to learn more.
We're at 78%.
Can I bring this over here and ask you questions?
Yeah.
So, everyone's running away. Everyone just ran away. They ran away from the camera. I just showed you shoes, don't worry.
Yeah, please.
So, where are we and what's going on right now?
So we're at the state capitol for the National Awareness Day for Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women and Relatives. So this is a public awareness. This is a art installation. Yeah. This is an art installation. The idea was really grounded in Rory Wakehamup's, him trying to bring a movement for the task force and to get an office here for MMIW here in Minnesota. So we're really just, having this art. It's really built by community for community, and it was a bunch of organizations like MMIW-RC and Anishinaabe Academy, go ahead.
Oh, what's MMIW-RC?
Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center, and then this is MUSAC, the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition. So we're a statewide tribal coalition who work with.
We do a lot of community organizing around violence against women, sex trafficking, missing and murdered, sexual violence. So we do a lot of education, public awareness, and community organizing around those efforts.
Can you give any kind of background on the movement and its moving? Because I feel like we've seen a big kind of upswell of people organizing around MMIW, MMIW-R. And can you give a little insight of what that's been like?
Let's get everyone. Well, it started for us to, when we did, we wrote a report, it's called The Garden of Truth. We interviewed 105 Native women used in prostitution and sex trafficking. And one of the questions that we asked our community relatives who were being interviewed was, did they know of anybody who was, that they knew that they haven't been found or that has been missing. And a lot of them did say that, yes, there was some people that never, they lost contact with, they don't know if they're still alive. We also know there's a big connection with sex trafficking and prostitution and MMIW, missing and murdered. And so that was kind of like the start of some of the information, but I know that like Sarah Deer started to keep a personal database of names that, this was years ago, just an impersonal thing, before there was a task force, before there was a national movement around this, just so we could have a database, because our relatives weren't being, their names weren't going anywhere. And so that was a grassroots effort. And then it just, more discussion with community members, more organizing, it just kind of started from there.
And how, if you're going to suggest resources for people who may be dealing with the trauma or with a missing relative, like where could you direct people, or where would you direct folks?
Well, I would say one of the things that I think that is missing is that we don't have a lot of sexual assault and domestic violence programs per se, like specifically for Indigenous people and Native people. But contact your local sexual assault or domestic violence organization. Call your the coalition or any state providers that can get you in contact. And I think that one of the things that we need is a community healing base. Like, what does that look like grassroots? What does that look like on a bigger level, like what we're doing now at the Capitol? Organizing with community, organizing with people who have talents that are outside of the gender-based violence realm, but who are interested in art, who are interested in the connection of like environmental violence and the connection to MMIW on that, So there's a lot of different connections. We need to bring in everybody because we're an important people to protect. So.
Is there anything else you want to tell anybody who's watching right now?
I just say, if you want to do something and get involved, I think it's just to contact your local sexual assault or domestic violence program, like she had said. But then also call your state representative and ask what they're doing to involve themselves in the issue of MMIW-R, and ask what they're doing to push for justice for our missing and murdered Indigenous women and relatives. And the whole community out there, and there's names that aren't being said, and names who haven't been forgotten. So it's time to dig deep and look to find justice.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Did you all say your names? If you want.
My name is Guadalupe Lopez. I'm an Anishinaabe from Leech Lake.
Hello, I'm Angelica Allery. I am Susatin Wapton Wayate.
Right on. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, so we're going to walk around, look a little bit at the installation. Maybe we'll see if we can speak to the artist. That's all happening right here.
So hearts and dresses in the middle.
So straight across this way, so make sure one person's over on this side.
Because then it's going to curve out on these
parallel. So
This is the artist, one of the artists working on the installation.
So you don't want it straight.
You can see all the dresses. From my understanding, there's thousands of them, and they've been all installed today. Let's see if we can go on the Capitol steps.
Yep, so let's
So the hearts and the dresses, and then dresses just on the side.
Does anybody want to talk to a camera? Want to talk? Interviews. No. Okay. That's my way of trying to get interviews without putting them on camera. I didn't put you on camera. Yeah. So yeah, people are working always like that. You know what I'm saying? It's always, you go somewhere, it's live, and people are living their lives. So you can't just assume people are going to talk to me because I have a camera. That's a lesson for journalists. Okay, so you can see, I think they're trying to make the outline of a red dress. And so you can see that's the bottom bell. That's the center. the other bell, and then that's an arm. And so you can see there's a few people that have been working since I think 9 in the morning to get this in. And we'll move down the aisle and then go up to the front. And I think we might go down. We just wanted to talk to a few people, and then we'll be back actually at about 2 p.m. Central, probably 2:20 for the event itself that will be taking place on the steps of the Capitol here in St. Paul, Minnesota. Let's see if I can talk to Rory. You can see all of these are. We went to an art build, so you see these. And if you go back on our timeline, you can see where these were built by community members, and they were built all over the city, right? I don't know if you can talk to that.
Yeah. Well, Anishinaabe Academy did roughly around 1,000 hearts and dresses at the school itself, and then I know MMIW-R, they did a lot of the hearts and dresses. American Indian Education Department through Minneapolis Public Schools did some of the hearts. MUSAC did some of the hearts. I know Rory with AC3, they stayed up like a lot of times doing a lot of the hearts throughout the community, doing different community events, doing a lot of the dresses and hearts. So a lot of these hearts and dresses are definitely from our Native community. You know, they put their hearts into these dresses and the hearts themselves. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's been through different organizations, a lot of community events, and a lot of work throughout the whole Native community.
And did you want to explain what the Anishinaabe Academy is?
Oh, Anishinaabe Academy is an elementary school, pre-K through 5th grade. We have been working with Rory Wake-em-Up for the past 4 years with MMIW, American Indian Kickoff Month, and Indigenous Peoples Day. He's brought in different artists and residencies to the school, and has really brought in his funktivism work, and bringing us out more into the community to get involved and do things with the Native community. It's been amazing work partnering with him in all these events. This is our 3rd year, I believe, with MMIW. The kiddos were kind of sad that they couldn't be at this event, but you know, their work is here. That's their little handprints, the little blue handprints on the red dresses are our Anishinaabe Academy babies. So their work is here with us, so even though they couldn't be here with us.
I don't know if you want to introduce yourself.
Oh, my name is Cecilia Veneman. I am the family liaison for Anishinaabe Academy.
And I'm just always really interested in Anishinaabe Academy, and I know people haven't heard about it here on this platform, so I was kind of wondering, what's like the core values of the school, or what makes Anishinaabe Academy a little different than, say, another?
Anishinaabe Academy is a Native-focused school. We are actually do all of Minneapolis, so we're not just south or north. You know, we get students from all over, and we're very diverse, but our focus is Native culture, is to revitalize Native culture and Indigenous languages within our school. So we do have 2 pathways in the school. One is Dakota and one is Ojibwe. So from pre-K to 5th grade, we offer those as a specialist in the classrooms. And since distance learning has happened due to COVID and everything else, it's been able to, because originally it was only for a few grades, now we're able to do it throughout pre-K through 5th grade. So it's been amazing getting our kiddos into the language. They love it. They love their culture. They love being out doing events like this. So we are unique in that way, that we have the honor of being, very Native focused in our work. Rory has been a part of helping try to change the curriculum for Minneapolis Public Schools with doing work like in regards to MMIW, bringing that type of information to the school. And then so we've had like teachers and groups of educators come together to try to write different things for the school for each different grade level. And so they've been working hard trying to really change the curriculum for students, Native students.
Wonderful. Well, thanks for talking to me.
All right, thank you.
Take care.
How you been?
I've been good. I've been great. All right, we're gonna keep moving here. Just talking to some folks. We're gonna walk the line. Like I said, I'm gonna try to get back to the front there. We probably are gonna take this down because we're gonna have lunch. I should probably eat. Everyone should probably eat. And then there'll be some speakers and events at about 2 p.m. CST. It's gonna start with a prayer. We won't be live for that because we shouldn't be live for prayer and ceremony. Write that down, other journalists. And yeah, so you can see all of these. You can see the handprints. They're made by the students of the Anishinaabe Academy we just learned about.
Yeah. And then want to lay them down in the wavy line. They're going to put 7 lines in here. So wavy, are you going to show how to do the wave? You got to go in there and put them like that. Okay.
So I'm gonna start it out
So you can see
try
it.
to like mimic.
Let's see if we can actually see.
I don't think we have enough
You can see there's a heart between sometimes the little bends. And then, like I said, they're trying to make a red dress on the Capitol grounds with all the outline of this. Sadly, I don't think they're able to get a drone. Their goal was to try to get a drone up in the sky to show it, but I don't think that's going to happen. Hi, did you want to talk about this at all or just work?
not right now, thank you.
No problem. Thanks for...
I'm trying to listen to what they're telling us to do.
Apologies. Again, like live, people are working. I am a disruption. I am distracting them, so I have to be way careful. Let people do what they gotta do. So we're getting down to the front here where we started. And then maybe I can walk around more to give you a bigger scope. I'm not sure exactly what people want. I think lunch is coming, so there's supposed to be lunch served. So if you want to come out, miss the helping and just get the lunch, now is your time. This is it. This is the time to come. All right. And this is the front. It's pretty awesome. All right, I'm gonna see if I can check the chat really quick, and then hopefully this all worked. I had to jump live really quick, so if it didn't, I apologize. Okay. And yeah, I apologize to you of the information on the, you know, it was live, and then we're trying to organize how we're gonna walk around or be here like live on the ground, and then we had the opportunity to interview some people, so we decided to just kick it live where we were at, and it was a little classic. Again, my name is Lorenzo Serna. I am the director of tactical media here at the NDN Collective, and we're just holding for 1 second while I make sure I got everything in order. 12:33. This is when I was supposed to go live. If people want, I can walk around more and keep the camera going if you want to see the installation more. Let me see if I can get some feedback on what folks want. Oh, let's keep doing it. What's up? All right. I can see we got a few hundred people watching. We should see the whole thing, right? So let's go ahead and do that. Where? Chris can't see the chat. We'll start moving a little bit. I'm going to get closer on these so we can actually read them, because there's a lot of information. This installation is pretty... So we're going to get a little close to look at these. This is the front. It's a little... You can see the images of dancers, jingle dress dancers, which I think they're going to try to have later today. If you have any comments, go ahead and drop them in the chat. An audio video check would be great. I didn't get to do one before I went live again due to sort of the pressing moment when somebody was able to speak to me, and I thought it was really important. Yeah, let's just take a moment to look at this, and you can read the names there here. Hey, thanks, James Voss. I will grab something to eat. And I did help people set up. Someone on YouTube saying that I did spend the first hour working on the installation, so I didn't just come here as a media person and watch everyone work, which sometimes happens but today I was lucky enough to be able to support in different ways besides just media. So, oh, thank you so much, all one same, saying the audio is clear and video is clear. I was really worried it wasn't. Again, you see a million missing and murdered Indigenous women, remembering Lenore Labatt. You are not forgotten back there. Say her name. Sister. I've been coming to MMIW events here in so-called Minneapolis, Dakota Territory, and yeah, it's been pretty incredible to watch the transformation of people coming together and the community sort of becoming empowered to be taking these spaces and creating installations like this, creating big marches, bringing out thousands of people to call out people's names. And in that time, I've heard a lot of stories of relatives who have lost loved ones, and it's never easy. You know, I find ourselves, we're always coming together to kind of remember tragic things, because we kind of have to, or nobody will remember them. Nobody will, they'll just be, invisibilized. And so it's like we've been doing the work, and here in Minnesota, Minneapolis, St. Paul, we're in St. Paul right now, the capital of Minnesota. This work has been going on for a long time, and there's a large community behind it who have been trying to help families, deal with the trauma. And I don't know if deal is the right word, but there's a lot of trauma when someone's gone and disappeared, from what I've heard, again, from speaking to people. And there isn't a healing for it without closure of knowing what happened, and these cases aren't being covered. They haven't been being covered, and people have been doing their best to bring attention to them, and this is one way of doing it. And also I want to say what's up to the raza out there. I know it's Cinco de Mayo también, pero ahorita vamos a hablar de esto. So this saying to the raza out there that it's also Cinco de Mayo, but today we're talking about this for a little bit, and we'll always celebrate Mexico, throwing out the French there. Okay. Someone's saying, yes, the United States of America never considered the Native American in the measure. Oh wait, we were mentioned in the Declaration of Independence. Yeah, Kelly, if you look, I think they reference Indigenous people here in the United States as savages. I apologize for using that word. And that was the reference to that was the United States view of all of us who are here right now putting this up. And obviously that's not true. That was a way to dehumanize our people, to dehumanize the people who are already here, to be able to take away the things that they so freely gave to them, So it's a little tough. Yeah, honor, loyalty, respect for our missing sisters. Absolutely. I also want to mention that, like, I think our last live, I was MMIW. We'll keep walking. Let's walk a little bit. We're talking about missing and murdered Indigenous relatives. I want to make sure that MMIW-R would be better. Just centering women. I remember speaking to somebody who's talking about the importance of centering women in this, because they've gone so long without being given the attention they deserve and the protection they deserve by this settler colonial state, but also from each other, from us. And I think in this work that people are trying to do, they're trying to bring people together. We went to the art build because it's just such an important event for events like this, to have a way for the community to come and bring their children and bring families and elders and sit together and work on something that you're doing to remember our ancestors and our relatives, and then also you build solidarity. You build together and you see each other and you're in this space, and so yeah, art builds are really important. So we went there first because I wanted to show this being built, because this doesn't appear out of nowhere. It was thousands of these were made across the cities, so people were working on this for a very long time to make this happen. And also it was really intense. I helped, and I could hear sort of the background. Yes, you can see the negative spaces making green hearts. Wansme says, someone saying the Mexico rate of femicide is also important. That is true, Lord. So there's movements, I think in South America and Mexico, women's movements, to bring attention to the femicide there, and to defend our community, defend our women, and the responsibility falling on everyone, but also falling a lot on men who have a lot of patriarchy they're carrying, and has to work our way through and dismantle in order to become good relatives and good to each other, you know. So there's a lot of work to be done. It's outside, it's also inside. And so, do you want to talk about what you're doing at all?
What was that?
Did you want to talk about what you're doing at all?
Sure.
Yeah, what's up? What are you up to?
We're trying to place out the dresses right now because we're going to make lines, like kind of like jingles over here. So that's what we're doing right now, just trying to place them out so they look nice. But
And were you at the art build before?
yeah.
Yeah. And so, what's it like to like see something where you started with just some cardboard, you know, maybe painted it red, and now you were here putting this on the ground?
Yeah, it's just really amazing to see this all come together after all that painting and gluing and putting the stakes in, all these signs, all these dresses and hearts. And so there's like a few thousand, which is kind of amazing to see it all together and all the community coming together and helping with this installation.
All right. Well, did you want to say your name and all? It's up to you.
Yeah, my name's Josie.
Okay.
Josie Hoffman. Yeah.
All right, I'm Lorenzo. Thanks, Josie.
Lennon.
Lorenzo? Lorenzo?
Lorenzo, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, good to see you again.
Good to see you too. Take care.
Yeah, you too.
Let's talk soon. All right, so you can see that we talked actually with we talked earlier during the art build with Josie, and you can see now they're out here working on this part of it. And again, that's why I like to show art builds. It's just such a community building event, and you get to see, if you're a part of the art build, you get to kind of see this work that really started out as cutting out this red dress and painting it, to now thousands of red dresses. It's this collaborative work of a community coming together to put it together for the people, you know what I'm saying? And it's a beautiful thing. I always really enjoy it. So we're gonna move all the way around one more time, go back to that sign, and then we are gonna go down. I'm gonna get lunch, and then we'll be back around 2 p.m. CST for speakers, drummers, songs. Let me see if I can bring up the all right, here we go. Ooh, my arms get tired. Okay, so at 1 p.m. we're having lunch. So again, if you want to get out here for lunch, this is your moment. And then 2 p.m. is going to be the event will start. It's going to start with a prayer, so we won't be live for the prayer. But then after that, there's going to be singers, some remarks from different people we actually heard from already, but we'll hear from them again. Some drums, drum songs, honor songs, some jingle dress dancers. And so it should be a pretty good event. You can see these lines. Well, it's going to be a beautiful event. I shouldn't say pretty good. It's going to be beautiful. It's already beautiful. I mean, we are already there. It's beauty. And so we're going to move down to the thing. You can see they're making these lines. The artist's idea behind the lines was trying to make them look like the lines of the jingle dress, from my understanding. Okay, no problem. All's one same. James Fox, thanks too. Those folks on YouTube, thanks for watching on YouTube. Don't forget to like, follow, and share, subscribe, all that stuff. If you want to see more content like this, there's going to be a lot more. We're just getting started here at the Indian Collective. And so, yeah, so you can keep following, keep subscribing. Make sure you share it out. And yeah, just come back and we'll see what it looks like after it's all built here. Yeah, I think Jade, I saw you in the last live mention MMIW with an exclamation mark, and like I said, I was using MMIW-R or MMIR. That was the name of that event, and I think they're trying to get the task force here to be missing and Indigenous relatives. But just I remember speaking to people and the importance of centering women. MMIW, you can see right there. And so I just wanted to make sure that I at least use MMIW-R. Because I think that, yeah, we'll talk about it more. I'm sure we'll hear more about it. But there's definitely data coming out showing the breadth of this epidemic that's affecting our people, and just the large amount of people within our communities that are being affected. And so trying to mention and center them all is really important. And so I know that in Minnesota, it's something that's been going on, and we've been trying to do, or people have been trying to do, but just in the, this movement's tough, and sometimes it feels like we're eliminating things when we don't mean to be. And so I just want to make sure you can see here the the front installation says MMIW. All right. Well, I think that's going to be it for now. I just, like I said, I wanted to come live really quick, show the Capitol, walk around, speak to some folks, and then I can do this. Boo! Hey, it's me, Lorenzo. What's going on, fam? So I'm Lorenzo. I can take this off. I guess I don't have to hear this, and I can do this. Hey, my name is Lorenzo. I'm the director of tactical media here at the Indian Collective. I'm Chicanx. Hora de Raza, Cinco de Mayo, yo sé. But we're here in front of the Capitol. I just wanted to bring y'all out here and kind of start the day. We're going to go down now. We're going to have other events. We'll be having an Instagram live as well. So if you don't follow us on Instagram, please do. And we'll be checking in there. And then we'll be back live on these feeds probably in about an hour, 2:15, I'm going to guess, Central Time. And so again, don't forget to follow, like, and share. And much respect to all of you. And sending love to all our relatives out there who are missing loved ones. I just wish there was something more to be said, but definitely there'll be prayers here. We're all coming together to remember everyone and make sure that we hold this space together, and we're going to do it in a good way. So much love, talk soon, and yeah, just don't forget to like, follow, and share.